Washington Post called 2024 the year of the Mormon woman
Mm-hmm.
because of and specifically they mentioned what is the Housewives show?
Secret Lives.
Secret Lives of Mormon Wives.
Yeah,
They mentioned the Stanley Cup thing.
absolutely.
Yeah, and
Sorry,
then
let me just drink my sponsored drink.
and I don't know what else they mentioned, but
Probably Heretic movie, probably Ballerina Farm and other influencers.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so then Melissa, I'm going to call you a Mormon woman because that's what you are. Do you appreciate that? Okay, do you appreciate the idea of 2024 is the year of the Mormon woman because of all of that? Do you think that that
Yeah.
represents Mormon women in the way that we would want them to be represented?
Yeah, I'm all for it. Great, go for it. Give Mormon women whatever kind of attention you want to give them because guess what? Um I don't think that there is one way to look at Mormon women. And I also think if you look at these things, Heretic, we've got Sister Missionaries, we got Secret Lives. Ballerina Farm is very traditional and old school. Like we've got a lot of different kinds of representations. Do any of them accurately represent me? No, not even. I feel like I'm pretty mainstream and none of them actually represent me. But what it does is say, like, we're not that weird and
Mm-hmm.
we're a lot of different things. Like we're very diverse. And what it also says is we don't care if you talk about us. Talk about us, talk to us. And I think that's all really good. I really
I
do.
like it, Melissa. Okay.
Okay.
I
Okay.
didn't put any thought into that. I just remembered that I saw that and wondered what you thought.
Okay, well we've got a story a little bit later on that's more connected to it, but let's hit it right now, okay?
Okay.
All
Yeah.
right. So, it's under big deal, little deal, no deal, okay?
Uh-huh.
So you can tell me. It's an opinion piece by the Deseret News. Okay. So just keep that in mind. So here's the headline: Living the gospel makes women less consumed in superficial appearance.
Wait a minute.
Mm-hmm.
That's the opposite of what we just talked
I
about.
know. That's why it's kind of related. Okay.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, so
Okay.
this
Big
is somebody
deal, little
wrote
deal,
an
no
opinion.
deal. Yeah. Big
Okay.
deal, little deal, no deal. Three, two, one.
No deal.
Big deal.
Big
Yeah.
deal?
You can't say it's the year of the Mormon woman and say that it's
Okay.
not
No, no.
important.
Okay, so that part is a big deal. This
Yeah.
opinion, I disagree with the opinion, so that's why I said it was a no deal.
Okay, you can disagree with the opinion, but it is based in a little bit of research. Okay. And
Okay.
what they're talking about is not specifically LDS people, although it is LDS people, but they're talking about religious people in general. But what they're saying is that, like let's talk about Secret Lives of Mormon Wives. Okay. These are a lot of women who live the gospel in very different levels. They're
Yes.
talking about people who are religious and practice that religion pretty, what's the word
Rigidly,
exactly? Rigidly. Yes.
dogmatically.
Yes. They're saying that those women have less issues with trying to measure up, trying to be perfect, worrying about what they look like, and worrying about how they come across
Mhm.
than people who are sort of borderline following all
Yeah.
of the
Not
rules.
not as
Those
dogmatic.
people are more consumed with how they look, how they appear, being perfect, their image.
Mhm.
Kind of interesting.
This disturbs me.
Oh, good. I like to disturb you at least once an episode. Tell me more.
So recently, I was having a conversation. I don't think it's news to anybody that individuals in Idaho do not like individuals in California. They look down
Okay.
on they say things like, don't Californicate Idaho, things like that, right? They say,
Oh, I need that t-shirt. Yeah, go on.
so it's weird because I love California. I love the beach. There's so much I
Yeah,
love about it. But if I tell
yeah.
somebody I'm going there, they sort of look at me like, why would you go there? Those people are awful. Those people are whatever.
Okay, okay.
Okay, so then recently I was having a conversation with a group of people about this, and I said, it feels like people in Idaho are starting to think about Utah the same way that they think about California. And they say, I was like, it seems like there's this perception that people in Utah are different than people in Idaho in the way they live the gospel. And they're like, yeah, you mean like
Mhm.
all of those breast enhancement billboards that you see and all
Mhm.
of those whatever
Mhm.
billboards that you see when you drive through Utah.
Yeah.
So then this opinion piece would seem to reinforce this perception that if you're
Okay.
not materialistic,
Mhm.
you're more righteous or
Yes.
holier than the
Mhm.
people who are more materialistic.
That is what it seems to be saying, but it's using statistics to say it. And side note, since you brought it up, you know how we always believe that Utah women have so much more plastic surgery than anyone else?
Yeah.
It's not actually true. So, according to the Pew Research Center, um, the Latter day Saint women in Utah report lower than average rates of plastic surgery, 5.6%, compared with the national average of 7%. So it's
Oh,
actually not a true statistic, even though it seems pretty true.
because
It
of the
seems
billboards,
pretty,
right?
well, yeah. And because
And
look
the
around, like,
yeah.
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 Anyway.
Well, yeah, so I went to church on Sunday in Burbank, California, which is
Mm
right in the middle of Hollywood, like the television studios and all of that stuff.
hmm. Mm hmm.
And when I went to church, like everybody there looked like a movie star, right? Like the guys had highlights. They clearly the men had a hairdresser person. They
Mm
were very
hmm.
concerned about their image, right? They wore all the
Sure.
trendiest clothes and all of that stuff.
Yeah.
And and some people it's easy to look at that and say those people are caught up in all the things that don't matter. But you could
Hmm.
also say, but they work in Hollywood, so their jobs probably expect that. Or like if you're in that world,
Yeah.
then you kind of have to act, you have to look a certain way in order to like fit in with that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like a person could appear to be materialistic and still be a very faithful member of the church. And a
Sure.
person could get plastic surgery and be a faithful member of the church. So I don't
Yeah.
like this idea that like I don't know. I don't like this idea that says that if you're materialistic, you're less faithful.
Okay. That's not a true statement. And I think we know that. But do me a favor, real quick, Maddie.
Hmm.
Google Google female leaders of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. I'm just saying, I just Googled it. I pulled up
Uh-huh.
this little screenshot of 9 of the female leaders of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints,
Uh-huh.
and they look pretty put together.
Yeah.
They have a very specific look. They have a very specific look. It's not the Utah mom hair, but they have a very specific, very put together.
All of them.
They're
They
trim, they're
almost look like
neat,
yeah.
they're yep, mhm. Yeah,
Wow.
uh, we we have an image. I will say that. Now, should we associate what you look like with your righteousness? Absolutely not. We know that, right? Don't judge a book by its cover. But
Hmm.
at the end of the day, we do live in the world, right? And guess what? Sometimes I'm a run out to the grocery store in my pajamas. But
Hmm.
um but when I go to work, I dress a certain way. When I go to church, I dress a certain way. And I don't know, is that for me? Is that for my spirituality? Is that just because I'm a person in the world? I don't know, but I'm just saying
It is funny
look at
though.
those women. Yeah.
It is
Look at those
interesting though
women.
because I've met a couple of them. And so, like, when you meet somebody and you get to know them a little bit, you sort of don't think of them the way you think of them when you see a picture. And so, as I
Absolutely.
look at the pictures of them, I'm like, wait a minute, that picture doesn't actually, in my opinion, accurately reflect like who they are. Do you know what I mean? Because
I think so.
I
I
feel
think it
like,
does. Look at the Young Women's General Presidency on social media. I know you're not on there very much, but when
yeah,
those ladies post on Instagram, they're put together and they absolutely look like Mormon women.
but I would not say that any of them are materialistic.
No, I don't think that's what I'm saying. I
Okay.
don't think I'm saying that it has to do with how much money you have. But
Yeah.
I am saying that we care an awful lot about how we look.